We have evil things to discuss.
Yeah,
No,
we were plotting your doom as well while you were gone, just so you know.
That is good.
Yeah, if you're gonna
You
keep
see us
talking
on
like
the
that.
planet.
Stab, stab.
They're actually Sith in disguise. They got the hollow projector face mask things from Marvel, and they're using it. They actually killed these people. They brain sucked these people a while ago.
I've basically
Ah!
figured out a way to actually make Bakaz into basically a Death Star. So,
Wait, you're destroying planets now?
Wait, how is he a Death Star now?
Also, Picasso's gonna tell the droids to vacate the ship.
yes, I will comms them and tell them.
Run away!
Also, I will probably ask them if there's any way where I can tell the droids to go, because I have an army of stealth sabotage droids that I need to put somewhere.
Okay, so remind me what exactly was the last thing that happened in this conversation. She basically just said, if you're willing to help the Sith, then that's good.
I cut Del off and simplified the situation before he goes into really in-depth Force stuff and our entire.
Well, that wasn't the last thing.
No, and then Del came back and was like, "We're trying to cause a big disruption because of operative and things." But that was the last thing that was said. I don't think she ever responded to that. I don't think.
Well, the good news is that we are planning some more disruptive activities against the Sith here currently. The next thing we are planning on doing was raiding a Rabid Rancor base. We could get some more intel, because their bases are rather less secure than the Sith, but the Sith still share information with them.
So how many bots are left, including my two? And excluding the one I left back at the planet. That is Lex's.
7.
Okay. So, I tell Stealth Force 7 to assemble.
Okay, I don't think the droids have regular communicator units, so I don't think you can contact them over comms.
But you can have Bob do it, right?
I tell Bob to go
Yeah,
gather
Bob
the
can't
stealth
do that.
droids. He what? He can go back
He can,
to them
yeah.
and
Okay.
grab them and come back.
Okay. Affirmative.
Or actually, no. I tell the little droid to do that. I don't want Bob going off on his own.
But he has
Bob's
like a
too
48
valuable.
stealth roll. Like, it's so absurd. Like, even if they catch everything else, Bob will just be like...
Okay, fine. I'll tell Bob to go.
Tell him not to engage if the other droids are discovered. Just
Yeah, no
run away.
engagement. Bring them back here. And I will make sure to get make sure it's okay to bring them back here and stuff. I mean, I'm sure they'll love help from 7 stealth droids and an assassin droid. But I need to make sure they can get into whatever this secret base is.
Okay. The droid leaves.
And then it goes into a spin-off series about Bob and his adventures with his 6 stealth droid friends.
Bob and the 6 droids.
Who could all be played by you guys.
That hints about what's going to happen to us.
Tell us more about this raid.
Okay. Hold on a second. Yes, we recently intercepted a communication that indicates a prominent Sith Lord is going to be visiting the capital city. And we are trying to learn more by raiding one of the Rabid Rancor's bases to learn more about the details and caravan route which he'll be following, so we can attempt to assassinate him.
I wish Mikaz had been there for the whole kidnapping that guy for money.
Don't you have any agents inside the Rabid Rancors that can come up with this information without a raid?
No, we don't have anyone inside the Rabid Rancors. And she, glares at all of you. If all of you wouldn't have kiboshed our sting operation inside the, surprise round, maybe we would have some operatives inside. But since your Jedi decided to go all ballistic on them, we don't have any operatives inside.
Wait, what?
What?
Perhaps you recall visiting the surprise round cantina, where you saw a Rabid Rancor member attempting to kill someone else, and you decided to, yes, incapacitate him. Well, that was actually one of our operatives, so thank you for rooting that operation.
I have never been to the whatever that cantina is called.
You had one of yours about to kill some guy?
The target was also one of our operatives. It was fake.
Well,
Is this
excuse me
something
for
that I
not knowing that.
I have no idea what you're talking about, Kyra.
Yeah, John doesn't know. That was before he joined the party. Because
Okay.
also wasn't there.
Edith, that isn't there and you know it. Plus, this isn't helping us. Get back to the info.
Oh, you're right, Ingrid. Well, as I was saying, we don't have any operatives inside the Rabid Rancors. She looks at Kalani for a second. Says, so we're going to perform this raid in order to get the intelligence. Besides, why gather intel secretly from the Rabid Rancors when we could also go on a raid and weaken their support?
No,
That is
it doesn't add up to me. If we go raid them, that information is going to be determined to be compromised, and they're just going to change it.
So if we do it stealthily with a whole legion of stealth droids, and no one has to get hurt,
It seems to me it would have to be one or the other. We either go in and grab the intel, or we smash the Rancors. But I don't think we can do both.
You got a legion of stealth droids just at your disposal.
well, not a literal legion, only like 7, plus an assassin droid. Or does that include the assassin droid?
Yeah, that includes the assassin droid.
Okay, 6, including an assassin, and 7 if you count an assassin droid.
Well, that alone could make them useful. Even if they're not very skillful, access to them droids would be good. She says that to Edith.
Yeah, Ida says, indeed, that would be pretty helpful to our cause. Would you be willing to donate us these droids? Do you have them here with you?
No, that's why I send off Rob to go collect them, because they're back at the spaceport. Invisible, hiding, but they shouldn't stay on the ship we came in. Didn't want to take 7 droids into a bar, even if they're all stealth. That's a lot of droids to take into a bar.
Well, I guess we'll see if those droids arrive here safely. We're still in the planning stages for the raid. We can discuss this more in the morning tomorrow. Ingrid and Liam, if you'd like to show them to some bunks that they could stay at.
If you think that's wise, leader.
I point to Kalani and I say, Jedi, you're with me. The boys will go with Liam.
Okay.
Okay, so they escort you to basically just like some rudimentary, like bunked quarters. There's like a refresher and stuff too. You like overall you notice that like the base isn't very big. Like they don't have a lot of space, but it's also like not full. So they're like, although it's nighttime too, so you're not quite sure, and like you don't know whether this is their only base. But you'd probably estimate there's only maybe like 20 people here right now. So do you guys all go to sleep?
I do.
Haka's force trances.
Yeah, this kind of Kalani will remember the first chance. I need my hit points back.
For 6 hours specifically.
How many hit points do you?
Your character level
your
per
level.
hour.
They'll talk to Dirk before force trancing.
Mommy, are you
Okay.
injured?
Not It was the backlash from that shadow thing, the test and everything. Not so much a actual wound.
This is from something that happened last session, not from the bar fight.
It was
From the
2 sessions
temple.
ago.
Two sessions ago, yeah. It was from when we were inside the old Jedi Temple.
Okay.
So Dirk, how are you hanging in there?
Well, it's interesting to be back on Ventuine. Not much seems to have changed, although the Sith seems to have increased their presence.
Yeah, I don't suppose you have any contacts or anything useful that we could potentially use.
Do you want to buy some insurance?
Well, I think it's a
Not a
little
bad
late for
idea.
our ship.
After we get it fixed, it's not a bad idea.
Well, other than that, I'm afraid not.
So are you gonna stick with us, or what's your plan?
Well, as far as I know, the Rabid Rancors are still after me, so if I've stuck with you up to this point, it'd be silly to leave now that I'm back in enemy territory.
Yes. True.
Breaking up again.
Sorry, we haven't exactly had time to just drop you off somewhere.
Besides,
hear me?
according to
Am
you,
I
aren't
good?
I contaminated with the shadow of death?
Yeah, I meant more like after we resolve this problem. Would you like us to take you somewhere?
Well, if this group can succeed in getting rid of the Rabid Rancors, I'd prefer to stay here, since this is my home.
I guess let's wait and see how it plays out. Okay, Dell's gonna force trans now.
Okay, so yeah, the night passes uneventfully.
Okay, for full hit points.
How long is everybody else sleeping?
6 hours for me. It's what I need to get my free force point.
I'm gonna sleep till dawn.
Okay. Yeah, so you notice that other people who are in the bunks like get up and start getting ready for the day and leaving, but no one really seems to come. Everyone just like leaves you alone, pretty much.
I am anxiously awaiting the return of Bob.
Yeah, Bob still hasn't returned.
I don't expect him to return for a while. So if things go bad and he makes it out, I expect that he would give me a call or something.
Okay, does anyone do anything? If they just leave you alone in your room, in the quarters, what's the first thing that someone does?
Well, Del's meditating right now, so he's gonna keep meditating until someone bothers him. So however many hours that is, that's how many times I'm gonna roll this.
I
I
want to
will-
go look for the rebel leaders that we were talking to last night.
I
Okay.
will do the same, except all I want to ask them is how long they think it would take for a droid, for a humanoid droid with good locomotion to get to the spaceport and back from this location. That way I have an idea. And then I'm going to go back and study the holocron more.
Yeah, they tell you that they think it would probably take like 24 hours.
I thank them and return to the quarters I have been given to work on the holocron.
Oh boy.
Okay, John, yeah, so you can find the leaders in that same room that they were in yesterday. Well, Edith is there.
What's going on?
We're planning the raid on the Rabid Rancors.
No, I
Are
didn't
there
ask
operatives
her. I'm sorry. I'm asking you.
Oh, asking me. Oh, she's
Yeah,
just
I'm
like
sorry.
staring over like a bunch of different like computer screens of like blueprints and other like just text messages and like different, yeah, a lot of different computer screens. Just like typing at a data pad.
Okay, I say I want to know more about this raid that you're planning.
Well, we know that this is one of the bases that the Rabid Rancors use. We've hit several of them in the past. They'll probably have some spice and other stockpiles here, but we don't really care about that. We just care about making it to the computer mainframe and hacking in.
There are no secondary objectives.
Well, if we could destroy the power relays of the base, and that would pretty much make it inoperable for them in the future, that would be good.
What about targets of opportunity?
Well, it's probably being headed up by one of the sub-bosses. We won't know which one until we're doing the raid, because they move around. But if we could take him out, or well, really, if we could just take out all of the people in the base, that would be best.
Any other objectives?
She looks at you and says, well, you're clearly a man of a lot of initiative, so if you wanted to raise the whole base to the ground once we had our info, that would be helpful too.
What's your order of battle? How many people are going? What kind of weapons are they armed with?
Well, now that you're here, you can pretty much supplement us. I was planning on having Ingrid and Liam were going to go in with some others, but I might assign them to a separate task now that you're here. Especially if you have an army of stealth droids. And then she pauses for a second and then says, Wow, I can't believe I've overlooked this, but I guess if you haven't seen the news and you don't realize that you're a known terrorist, you probably also don't know that the Sith have captured your parents.
Captured them?
Yes, your parents are being held in a Sith detention camp.
That doesn't make sense. They're Sith collaborators.
Well, I think it's because you are a anti-Sith terrorist, so they decided to capture your parents and put them in this labor camp. That's one of the other places we've been investigating.
Not really interested in that.
She blinks at you and says, Okay, well, I thought you ought to know.
I just shrug and I ask, what time is the raid on the Rabid Rancor hideout?
Well, based on their security schedules, I believe it would be best to attack at 1 a.m. this upcoming morning. So you have the day to do whatever it is you want to do.
Out of character, that's okay, so that's 18 hours.
Yeah.
I asked them at some point. I will ask them if they have any grenades.
Oh dear.
Who do you ask that to? Do you ask that to Edith?
Yeah.
Or someone?
Do I really need to be that specific? I just asked what kind of weapons we're using, what the order of battle is.
I mean, do you want, were you asking that because you want them to, give you weapons and supplies?
Well, the reason I asked is because I want to know how the people who are coming with us are going to be armed.
Yeah, they both have, blaster rifles.
So nobody's bringing any kind of explosives.
No. Yeah, if you ask her, she'll just say, well, we're mainly an underground civilian resistance group, so we don't have access to a lot of high-level explosives, and what little we do have, we're trying to conserve. We can take out this Rabid Rancor base without any of that. We need to maximize our use of resources.
Okay, I vote after this. The next thing we raid is an explosives supply thing. They have to
This
have
is
somewhere to
getting a
keep
bit
explosives.
disturbing.
Well, there are several Sith supply depots. We could raid one of those. You maybe should talk to Liam about planning that.
I mean, we're in a guerrilla warfare. Come on, this is going to get bloody, a lot bloodier than before it gets any better.
What's this woman's name? Edith?
Mm-hmm.
How old is she?
She's like 26.
Okay, I want to ask her. Did you fight in the? Did you participate in the partisan movement against the Mandalorian occupation?
I need to look up the timeline on that. How many years ago was that?
I want to say it's between 3 and 5.
Pretty sure
If
Mandalorian
I
stuff is a couple, like almost a generation. Not quite.
No, it's not
It's like
that
20
far
or-
away.
It's like
It's not that long
20
ago because
years.
Ajax only 21 and he was like, what? Let's see, he was.
I got the book. I'm looking it up.
They lasted 8 years, from 3976 to 3964.
Yeah, it was only. Yeah.
Right, but the year is 3958. That's the year we're currently in.
Are you sure?
I have it. I made a note of it. It's on my computer. We're in BBY 3958.
Yeah, that sounds right to me.
Wait, what year did you say it was?
3958. Mandalorian.
No, not the current year. The current.
Mandalorian 63, so 5 years ago it ended.
I have it in.
The Mandalorians began their invasion in 3964, almost 10 years ago.
I have it ending like 4 years ago in Ajax backstory.
Yeah, when I created my backstory, I had different information.
It's like 39. Yeah, it's like 39. 3960 is when the Battle of Malachor 5 or 4 happened.
Malachor
So
5 is 3960.
Yeah, so the war officially ended like 2 years ago.
Okay. Yes, we fought in it. That's why we decided to join the security forces afterwards. Only to find that they were full of corrupt individuals.
I was just wondering. I was in a cell on the Northern Continent. We were a lot better equipped to command than this.
Yeah, so when we were fighting against the Mandalorians, it was the spirit of the Ventuinian people and the planet against an invading force. Here the Sith are already occupying us. Also, the Sith are a lot more ruthless and brutal than the Mandalorians were.
You don't have
The
to tell me.
Mandalorian. Okay, didn't the Mandalorians just like conquer planets and then move on to the next planet? They didn't like occupy the planets and like impose
No.
Sith military rule on everyone.
No. That's the old. That's what the Crusaders did back when they were fighting with that one Sith character. The Neo Crusaders basically put a gun to everyone's head and said, "Join the Mandalorians, or they get shot or work in slave labor."
Yeah, they either took slaves
It
or
was a very
converts.
it was much more of the crew. That's why some of the Mandalorians didn't like the war, because the Neo Crusaders kind of went a little nuts, and they kind of just they took over places instead of just raiding and moving on.
Oh, okay. Never mind. I take that back then. Well, if you know of any contacts or ways we could become better equipped, I'm all ears.
I don't know anybody. I've been out of touch since my cell was crushed and I evaded capture. Well, the only contacts I'd have anymore are in construction.
I see. Well, that's unfortunate.
So what's your plan for this raid?
I thought I already said what the plan was. We're gonna go in, fight any resistance until we can make it to the computer mainframe. Then Ingrid's gonna slice in, and we're gonna download the information that they have on their servers. And then we're either gonna get out, or if possible, destroy the base.
Do you have any scouts in position? Do you know the enemy strength? Their positions?
We don't have any intel on the inside of the base. I just have this outdated blueprint.
So inside there could be 2 or 200 gang members.
I'm not going to lie. It's possible there could be 200 gang members, but prior evidence and all logic would point against that conclusion. But we don't have any video feed, so it very well could be. Until this whole Sith thing, our organization was focused on finding out all the corrupt members in the government and taking them out. Directly opposing the gang was not our priority. I could give you a list miles long of every individual in the government who collaborated with the Rabbit Rancors, and all of the government ties they had, and which organizations were corrupt, but I can't tell you how many people with guns the Rabbit Rancors have inside all of their hideouts. But none of that information helps us now, since the Sith now control the government and no one cares about the corruption.
When it's time to go, I'll be ready.
I was assuming that all of your people were stocked with your own weapons and munitions. Is that correct?
I've got a rifle.
Well, I guess I should add that the Rabbit Rancors are better equipped than we are, so even if we don't raid as a supply base, you may be able to find some supplies at this Rabbit Rancor base.
If we do you have a truck that can haul it out of there?
We should be able to fit it on the freighter that we're going to use to sneak everyone in.
Okay, so you're using a freighter to sneak everyone. See, you didn't mention that.
Well, the plan still has 18 more hours before it's completed, but that's right now what we're doing. Do you have
Okay.
any other questions, or should I get back to planning?
No, none for right now.
Okay, does anyone want to do anything during this
already know
day?
what I want to do.
Unless anyone's gonna ask
Yeah,
Dell
you can
about
roll.
what on earth he was talking about when he was
Hey,
talking
Zach.
about an operative. Other than that,
There's time to ask for that later. Kaz is more concerned about the robots getting back, and Des wants to distract himself with the holocron.
Now, I know how much Dell likes his secrets.
Okay, do you want to make a roll, Bazak?
Sure. Wow. What is with my rolls?
you're rolling like me today.
Give me back my dice.
My dice haven't been that good today.
Well, luckily that
You don't
wasn't a
want my
very
dice.
important roll.
Do I get any bonus from Olivia?
I haven't decided. Maybe next time.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. So around like 10 p.m., the droids show up.
Are they all there? Are they all intact?
Yep, they're all intact.
I tell Bob, good job.
Thank you.
Wait a minute. It's 10 p.m. now. It's 3 hours before mission time.
Uh huh.
Okay, I want to go to sleeping. I want to get at least 4 hours before we go.
Okay.
So I probably go to the commander now and try and get a look at the map and any information that they have on the place. With an army of stealth droids that are decloaked.
Okay, there we go. There's
They
your
all-
army of droids.
They all made it.
Droid army assemble!
I think you should shrink the mini ones down so they fit in like 1/6 of the squares, so you can fit most of them. So you can fit them all in one box. But that's not necessary.
Okay, so yeah, you go talk to Edith, and she looks up and says, "Well, that is quite a lot of droids you have there."
Kaz bends down to the small ones and taps on it and says, "These ones help we're trying to disable a Republic cruiser. Nasty little guys."
Interesting. Well, if you could send them on ahead, if you think they could infiltrate the base and get us intel.
I think that's fairly likely. The main issue seems to Or did I ever? I have to figure this out. Did I ever find out that Bob doesn't have his command unit anymore?
When you were looking at him, you never realized that like there was an obvious part missing, but you know that he can't communicate with the droids because he's told you that he can't do that.
Well, I would do that. These little guys used to be able to communicate with Bob here, but I don't know. Something's wrong. I haven't been able to figure out why. If I could get that fixed, that would probably be helpful. I'd
You
be a
named
lot
your
more
droid
confident.
Bob.
I call him Bob because he's designation B0B.
Interesting.
I think there might be a number after that, but I don't remember.
No, there's not.
I know, but that was in character.
Oh.
He doesn't remember. Basically, what I'm trying to do here is to try and get the whole not having the command part thing as a player character. That's what I would like to end up happening from this conversation. Find some way to get that fixed. And as a character, Prakash is probably trying to get them to offer some help with fixing that issue, even though he doesn't know what the issue is.
Well, if you managed to reprogram these droids who were attacking and sabotaging a Republic ship, you probably know more about them than any of my people would. We don't really have any engineer-type people.
Maybe if I go back over him again, maybe a part got damaged that I didn't notice.
So when was he able to control all these droids?
Before he was under my control. Yeah, that's really strange.
Well, you probably damaged it whenever you stopped it from doing its sabotaging and tried to take it over.
Well, I shouldn't have, but I don't know. Anything's possible, I guess. Hey Bob, do you have any ideas about why that might be happening?
Let me run a self-diagnostic.
Make him roll computers, see if he fails.
He doesn't have use computer as a skill.
That's pretty good perception.
He's a very ridiculously skilled droid.
I am lacking my command module.
Wait, how?
Someone removed it. I believe it may have been Alexa Scarlet.
Because his eyes narrow. Finally, he finds out the truth. I can't believe I missed the fact that a whole component was missing. It has been a while since I've worked on droids, I guess.
Also, if you wanted to patch me up some more, that would be good.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. I forgot I haven't had a chance to repair you very much. Yeah, we should probably get all of the droids looked at, especially after that crash landing.
So, are you saying that we won't be able to use them in this raid?
Well, I mean, we've got a couple hours, right? I can take a quick look over them.
If you think you can do it that fast, then go ahead.
By the way, do you think there's any way you could get a command module?
A command module? That seems like a very vague term. What's a command module?
Bob, do you have any idea how to answer that?
Yeah, he goes over to one of the computer panels and like pulls up the schematics or the specs on his command module.
Cost 200,000 credits.
Not quite.
I
Only
think
cost 20,000.
Yeah, it's expensive.
Edith looks at you and says, "Yeah, let me just add that to the list of things we're gonna acquire in one of our raids."
Good idea. Bob, is there any way to give you some sort of comm link between you and the robots? And that would be a good thing if we could communicate with you.
I have a regular comlink. The problem is that the droids are not equipped with regular comlinks. They can only be controlled by this specialized interface.
Well, that's
If we
okay.
had the Void Gullet, we could cannibalize the parts off of there, since the ship was also capable of controlling the droids in my absence. Unfortunately, the ship was... Never mind.
Well, I will take a look at them and see what sort of shape they're in. By the way, just like looking a quick glance at them, do any of them look battered?
Yeah, there are two of them look like one of their leg servos isn't working properly. And a couple of them have like smashed photoreceptors. And some of them are like dented up, but other than that they look okay.
Okay.
Bob also has taken some damage to his like exoskeletal chassis.
Yeah. So I asked them if they have any parts I can use to patch them up.
Edith looks at you and says, "I thought you guys came to the rebellion so you could help us out, and I seem like you're asking for a lot here. Did I mention that we're a small organization who are struggling to counteract the Sith? We don't just have spare things laying around.
We've brought a fully functioning squad of stealth droids.
If they're fully functional, then why do you need repair parts?"
They're fully functional, they're just not... I mean, they can do all the stuff they're supposed to do, but if they take a hit, they might go down instantly, but, you know, they function.
She like rubs her temple. She says, "A raid on a Sith supply depot is sounding more and more appealing." And she like presses the comlink button. She says, "Liam, are you there?" Liam, that's you, Barry.
Yeah, I know. Just a second. I was typing something. Yes, ma'am. What can I do for you?
You know that raid on the supply base that we are planning? Well, time to move that off the back burner and beginning putting some more effort into it. But I suppose maybe that should wait until after we're back from this current raid. But just so you know, start planning that. We need some more supplies if we're going to be working with these people and maintaining our influence and the amount of whatever meager supplies we have.
So you're telling me they dropped the ball on more things? Great. Alright, I'll see what I can do about pushing up the timetable on that mission as well.
Hey, at least we have high-tech robots.
Says the people who fumbled the last time we tried to invite them into the party.
You can blame John for that. I would have got out of there just fine if I hadn't followed you guys.
Blame me for what?
Well, I don't think you can hear this. But blame you for causing the ruckus in the cantina.
I blame my deceiving GM.
Well, Pakaz blames you. But you don't know that, so. And he isn't going to press the matter.
Did you need anything else, ma'am?
How are the preparations for the raid going? We have a little under 3 hours.
Alright, I'll see what I can do about helping our current group take care of this particular... our first mission first.
Are our other colleagues going to be ready in time for the raid?
I believe so.
Excellent. Okay, I think we are going to start off next session with the raid, so if there's anything else that anyone wants to do before then.
You know, I feel I found Pakaz's theme song.
Ooh, what is it?
Oh man, this is my
Is that
theme
what
song.
Picada sounds like?
No, but I imagine he could sound like this very easily. I mean, considering his vocal cords are basically high pitched, capable of doing like woodwind sounds. Because his mouth is basically a woodwind orchestra. But I think this sort of song, if this were a TV show, whenever Pakaz does crazy stuff, this is what would start playing.
I think we're wrapping it up unless anyone else has anything else. Did you catch up on all your whispers? Okay, I think we're going to call it for tonight.
Okay.
In that case, thanks again for another awesome night, guys, and I hope everybody had fun, and we'll see what more adventures we can aim to misbehave in. Yes, if you get more of those references, you know what's been going on in TeamSpeak now for the last 5 minutes. All right, those of you who joined us in on YouTube, good night, and you guys have a very blessed night, and God bless.